Hi guys, welcome to this video. So in this video, I'll be creating ingress and gateway. I'll be deleting the ingress and later point of time I'll be creating gateway. Let's see what the cluster version we have. Okay, we have 29.15 cluster version and we have one node. So this node this is a master node. I'm using it as a weapon node also. So let me check if I have MetalLB installed. We need to have MetalLB for ingress, right? So MetalLB like we need a load balancer IP for our application. So let's see if we have MetalLB installed. And if it is not installed, I've covered each and every step how to install MetalLB. I've written a blog around it, so you can probably read the blog and try to install MetalLB. This MetalLB will not work in node such as AWS Cloud or any of the cloud provider, because cloud providers they will not allow you to create MetalLB and expose your application as load balancer, because cloud provider will have their own load balancer, right? So they'll not allow all those things in your. This is a machine which I have configured in my local laptop. So my application, I have my application. This is my application, deploy.yaml, and I've provided the application links also in the description. You'll find the application link. You'll find the GitHub repo for this application. So let me check the MySQL DB. I have MySQL DB also. MySQL DB is this. I need my application to be deployed first, so I'll deploy my application first and then try to deploy Ingress. Let me see. No, let me first of all uh, check if what MetalLB is configured correctly or not. To check MetalLB is correctly configured or not, we have to get this IP address pools. It is there. So from 190 to 168.0.240 to 250, these 10 IPs I have taken as a pool, and I'm using this load balancer IP will be assigned from one of these IP from 240 to 50. And let me check the IP L2 advertisement. It is there, right? So quick app pool, I created L2 advertisement as quick app pool. Let me describe it. Okay, so this is the pool name which I've created. The pool name is this, and this is the pool ID, and this is the number of IPs which will be allocated from this pool, like 240 to 50. Out of these 10 IPs, one of the IP will be allocated to the service which we create for the application. So let's try to see if we apply the after we apply the MySQL pod MySQL. Let's deploy the application. It is deployed. Let's deploy the application. First of all, database is deployed. Once after that, let's deploy the application. I have my DB running, and I don't know why my 𝐸𝐴pp application is failing to, why it is crash looping. Let's see. It crash loops. Maybe it is data too long for column password is saying. So we need to rectify that. So let's try to rectify that. Let's log into MySQL pod. Log into MySQL pod. Let's use this command to log into MySQL pod. Get pod. We have to change certain things in the database. So let's use this command. Password is password. Default is password. I've given password as a secret. In secret, I've given password as password, and then we have to use db. You have to run these commands which I'm running here. I provided in the blog. I'll be attaching this blog in the description. We'll have this blog. After that, we need to alter the user table, and then exit. Let's see now. Application. Let's restart the application. Delete it, will restart. It will create one more pod, right? So let's check now. It is in running state. It should be running state now. It's in running state. So let's see our application is available on the dashboard. Let's see if what's the IP it is giving to 240, right? So if I take this IP and then try to access it, it should be accessible. It is accessible, right? So our application is accessible. So how do we expose it via Ingress? Let's create Ingress now. To create Ingress, our like it is using load balancer IP, right? So that MetalLB, because of MetalLB has assigned this IP as a load balancer IP, and this IP when I try to fetch it on the browser, it is loading the application, right? Yeah. So how do we deploy Ingress? To deploy Ingress, you need to apply these manifest files which are provided in GitHub. Once these files are applied, let's check the HVC of Ingress controller. It should be load balancer IP. There's no load balancer IP coming, right? So we need to patch the Ingress controller service, so that it gets the load balancer IP. It might have got now. So it got, right. So this is the load balancer IP given by MetalLB. So once this is done, so we have created load balancer. We have created Ingress and then try to patch the Ingress service so that it uses load balancer IP. Once that is done, let's create Ingress resource and try to expose our application on quiz.local domain. So let me show you the Ingress file. This is the Ingress file, Ingress resource. Like API version is networking.ksdash.io./v1, right? That's the that's the API version we need to use. After that, kind is Ingress, and metadata is the name of my Ingress, and Ingress name class Nginx, and this is the host I'm exposing to. Like this is a local host, quiz.local. It's not a domain. It's not my domain. It's a random domain which I've taken, quiz.local, and then it says whatever comes on quiz.local, it should be routed to this service which is at the back end. Let me check the service. So it will route the traffic from whatever comes on quiz.local. It will route the traffic to quiz app service. That this service it will route the traffic and it will load the application. Let's apply the ing is available, right? Now our application should be accessible on quiz.local. Let's check. Accessible on quiz.local, right? Now Ingress is Ingress is working fine as per expectation. So okay, so now whatever we have deployed is working on Ingress, right? Now it is working on domain. Like if it is a domain, then we could have added certificate using Let's Encrypt. We could have added free certificate for using Let's Encrypt, and we should have deployed the Let's Encrypt in the Kubernetes cluster and tried to create a certificate for this domain. But this is not a domain. Like this is a random domain which I have. That's a random domain which I have used. So if you have domain, you can in place of quiz.local, you could have given your domain name, and then you could have accepted it, and then we could have added the certificate for this Ingress, and then your application would be hosted on HTTPS SSL certificate. So now Ingress is created. How do we create a API gateway? To create API gateway, first of all, you need to delete the Ingress. Delete. Let me check the Ingress. Get Ingress is there, right? So let me delete the Ingress. It's deleted. Now I don't have anything related to Ingress, right? Related to Ingress. I don't have anything related to Ingress. So to deploy gateway, we need to go to so one thing is very important. Like after I expose my application on 240, I need to add the etc host entries on in my laptop. Like in my laptop, I need to go to CMD, Notepad CMD, and then you have to add the host entries, quiz.local and the IP of our service. These host entries you need to add it, because if you don't add these host entries, then it would have not worked on browser. It would have not worked. So I've added these host entries already. That's why it worked on the browser. To work on the browser, because we are not managing any domain or DNS, right? So to to get it resolved on locally, we have added this. That's why it is getting resolved, because it has easy etc host entries we have added, right? That's the reason it is getting resolved. Need to add that. And then after we expose our application via Ingress, we need to add these entries, etc host entries, and after that our application will be accessible on browser. Once this is done, let's move to Ingress. For Ingress, these are the files which are need to be applied. Let me I've written the blog. You can probably follow the blog completely, and then you could do this activity along with by watching the blog which I've written. You can apply these CRDs. Once CRDs are applied, let's check if CRDs are there. Get CRD grep. The CRDs are there, right? So it came. Once CRDs are applied, we need to install Contour Gateway. Contour Gateway. That's one of the gateway. Like we have to create a resource also, right? This is creating the resource. We're creating the resource using applying this Contour Gateway. So I'll provide all the links in the blog. So I'll attach the blog in the description. You don't need to worry about the links and all about the applying of this YAML files. So once I apply this, our YAML files will be applied. Once these are applied, let's check the project contour. Pod should be running. It is running. It is running. Let's check the gateway class. What's the gateway class? It is example. It is unknown. Let it be unknown, because I don't need to worry about this status. I need to only worried about the this thing. This should be true. And this is the IP of the IP it gave from the load balancer IP, right? Load balancer it has attached one IP 242. 240 to 250, right? Out of that 240 to 250, 242 it has given this to IP as 242. Once this is done, let's move ahead and create a resource called as http route. So I have already created it. http route YAML. So this resource you need to create. See, this resource also same, right? Quiz route is the name and namespace is default, and then parent reference is contour, and project namespace is project counter, and then host name is quiz local, right? And backend reference is this is the service name, right? So we are specifying each and everything. So we are creating http route, and after that, let's see if our application accessible on quiz.local. Now if you check now, it is not accessible because our ingress is not working, right? To check in incognito. So guys, it was working because it was using the same it was using the English controller IP, like English controller, this thing. It was using this English controller SVC, and that's why it was working. And my host entries also, I've removed it. My host entries were also there. So because this was not routing the traffic, it was working as exposing the my application, right? So this was there. So I deleted that, and once I deleted that, and then passed this service to cluster IP by using this command. Once I pass this, if you see now, it doesn't have any load balancer IP, and I don't have any host entries also. Host entries I have, but it will not be working. It will not work. If you see now, it will work or not. Let's check now. It should not work because we have removed that load balancer IP, right? We have passed it to cluster IP. Now we have to deploy gateway. It will not work. Anyway, it will not work. It will not work on this IP also because we have removed the IP also. Now let's create HTTP password, HTTP power route role, route YAML. Sorry, this route I explained right just now. Like this will reference to this service, and then whatever comes on this service, it will whatever comes on this URL. Try to route all the traffic to 𝐸𝐴pp. Let's apply this, and then let's see if it is accessible. Once this is created, let's check the gateway. Next is project contour. Now HTTP, we have to select HTTP default, HTTP route written default. This created right 33 seconds back. So I created it. So once this is created, let's see if it is accessible on the browser. It should not be accessible because there is no host entries. To add host entries, you need to again go to etc host. That thing you need to go again. It will not work. But if I add host entries on my local laptop, it should work fine now. Now if I do host to add host entries, this is the path for Windows, and for Linux it is vi etc host, and I need to add 242 because the reason I'm adding 242 is gateway works differently than ingress. Like 242 is the IP, right? If you see like it is propagating in IP 242. If I add 242, it will work. Yet svc -a grep load balancer. See last one, project contour. So it is exposed on 242, right? If I add host entries at 242, let me add it. It is open already. Let me add it. 242 rather than 240 because it is exposed on 242. If I do this now, it should work fine. Now our application should be hosted on this. It should come on this local. This local 242. Okay. Still not working. If you see, it is working now. If I see, it is working now on gateway. I expose the API gateway, right? It will not work because this IP it is not associated with any service, right? So what's happening is whatever service we have created, it is propagating to get SVC gateway. So whatever service we are providing, this service is getting routed via uh, contour this gateway. So it is the gateway load balancer IP is 242. This 242 we have attached it to domain like quiz.local, right? In the etc host entries. So that's why it is routing on this route to. So let me log in and see if it is working fine. create quiz. Let me create one quiz. Topic name should be Kubernetes. Okay, what is Kubernetes? Container orchestration tool, container management tool, pod, machine, container orchestration tool. So one quiz is created. So let's log out and create a user and try to attempt that quiz. User is user, and then password is 123, and user password is 123. Let me attempt it. Once I attempt it, the score will be 1, right? So if I log out and log in again with admin, the user score should be seen in that dashboard. Should be here, right? So I got our application working fine as per expectations, because we have created everything as required. So I don't need to do anything now. Now I need to just delete the gateway also. Like our working is working on Ingress, and also like it is one of the CK question. I recently wrote CK exam, and in that the question was, Ingress, you need to delete an Ingress and create Gateway API in place of that, and route the traffic as usual. So I created that. So this is one of the CK question. It's very important. I don't know how many percentage of marks was there for this question, but one of the CK question I recently wrote. That's all I wanted to cover in this video. After that, let's delete the gateway. Let's delete applications also. I don't want to keep anything. Deploy, deploy. Get, sorry, get. It has received. This will be there. I need to delete the services. Once everything is deleted, our complete cluster is clean now. I don't need to do anything now. So as per expectation, what did we do? First of all, we created like the MetalLB. I'm not showing you how to create MetalLB, but I've given a blog, and that blog you will be able to read each and everything. So first we deployed MetalLB, and then try to configure our application to use MetalLB, and it was exposed on LoadBalancer IP, right, 240. And then we created Ingress, and Ingress we routed the traffic via Ingress to 240 on domain quiz.local, and then we deleted the Ingress and tried to create Gateway API. Gateway API IP was 242.192.168.0.242, and then routed the traffic via 242 to our application, and it was working fine. That's all I wanted to show in this video. Thank you for watching. Thank you for watching the video. Please subscribe to the channel if you find it is helpful. Thank you.